Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea. And today there was uncountable single best ideas into a Fed day. Special thanks to Stephen Englander on from Standard Chartered Bank, and just before him, Michael Cushman of Morgan Stanley, is what the magic's all about. These are very, very experienced, very wise people. And it was the way the whole show was today. It was just great. Sebastien Page showed up. He grew up in Quebec, in the land of the hockey stick, in Sherbrooke, Quebec. That is where they make all the hockey sticks. It was like the Vatican of my childhood, if you will. We talked with him about Canada, had some incredible insights about the tensions in the 51st state concept. But mostly we talked to Sebastien Page of T. Rowe Price about allocation and about where we are right now.
We're not panicking, Tom. I think markets, the economy, I think we're going to be okay. We're looking at a slowdown. The data for the consumer is showing that things are slowing down. And the markets is selling off, but it's not just because of tariff headlines. It's because of the growth slowdown. It's because we had extremely high valuations going into this. And yes, the word of the hour, uncertainty. So it's a combination of all these things, but I don't think we're getting a recession.
Sebastien Page, can't say enough about his book out a couple years ago on asset allocation. Look for that on Amazon. Sebastien Page, Page, and a wonderful, more pro book on diversification and allocation mistakes that are made. One of our mistakes is to not have on enough Dean Curnutt of Macro Risk Advisors, a really pro note, a sophisticated PowerPoint from him. Get that from Macro Risk Advisors. But lots to talk about. Dean Curnutt really on fire about gold. I didn't even see until an hour into the program today, gold out at record highs, I believe 3047. That's OMG. Are you kidding? But Dean Curnutt, we talked about gold, but here Dean Curnutt on the uncertainty.
It's the sequencing of down 1%, down 1.5% that has led to, pretty good destruction of wealth at the S&P level. That, of course, has lifted the VIX, but it's been a controlled demolition, as one client put it. And I think I think that's well said. So the cross moments, I don't think are flaring in a big way. It's not like we had a VIX of 10 that went to 30. We had a VIX of 14 or 15 that climbed its way into the low 20s level. So it's, like I said, very controlled. And I think the handoff here is, okay, the pods for the big multi-strat hedge funds have had to de-risk. That's caused a lot of factor volatility, a lot of rotation. But the big handoff now is, what is the impact on the real economy? I took real interest in the piece on the Bloomberg terminal yesterday, quoting Morgan Stanley's president saying deal making has really gotten frozen here.
Yep.
Right. So it does feel like corporate America has been stymied by the start-stop of the tariff negotiations.
Dean Curnutt, and this is why we love the conversations and why we try to bring a few of them to you with single best idea in your busy podcast day. That's the single best phrase I've heard for the moment we're in: controlled demolition. Dean Curnutt stealing that from a client. We'll steal it from Dean Curnutt. I think it's just really, really brilliant. On your commute across the nation, thank you so much for your morning attention. Had a gentleman that he sits in his kitchen and forces his young offspring to listen to us in the morning. That is cruel. That is unusual. That is punishment. But we thank you. And on podcasts, we'll go look at YouTube podcasts for single best idea.